All right, so many people still think that total cholesterol or LDL is the gold standard for heart health. And yes, super important. But if you've ever been told you have high cholesterol, chances are that was it, and no one explained to you the full picture, especially when it comes to things like ApoB or lipoprotein a. And when we're talking about predicting long-term risk or even lifespan and health span, those advanced markers, ApoB and lipoprotein a, might matter more than your standard lipid panel. So today's question is, what's a better predictor of longevity? Traditional cholesterol numbers or your ApoB particle count? So what is ApoB and why should you care? ApoB is short for apolipoprotein B. It's a protein found on every atherogenic particle in your bloodstream. Atherogenic, atherosclerosis-genic, generating. So it is a particle that can promote the clogging of your arteries. And we see ApoB on all of your atherogenic particles, so your LDL, your VLDL, your IDL, and even lipoprotein a. So while LDL-C, the LDL cholesterol, tells you how much cholesterol is inside those particles, ApoB tells you how many of those particles are floating around. And that's critical because it's the number of particles, not just how much cholesterol they carry, that drives plaque buildup and cardiovascular risk. Think of LDL-C, your LDL cholesterol, as the cargo, and ApoB as the number of trucks on the road. More trucks, more traffic, more chances of an accident. So ApoB versus LDL-C, according to multiple sources, including the American Heart Association and large-scale lipoprotein studies, ApoB tracks more strongly with cardiovascular risk than LDL-C, especially when those two disagree. So this discordance means you could have a normal LDL-C but an elevated ApoB and still be at high risk. And when that happens, it's the ApoB that correlates with the outcomes, not the cholesterol number. So the bottom line is that cholesterol content is useful, but it doesn't tell us the whole story. Particle number tells us more of that story. Now, weren't we told that lower LDL always means better? LDL is your bad cholesterol, let's lower it. That's a good thing, right? That is standard thinking, and in many, dare I say most cases, a lower LDL is associated with a lower cardiovascular risk. But there is some nuance. There is no one-size-fits-all ideal LDL. The AHA notes, the American Heart Association notes, that lower is better in principle, but also acknowledges that risk needs to be individualized. And the strategy to get there matters. Some people do tolerate high-intensity statins very well, and others don't. That's why we're seeing newer strategies like ezetimibe or PCSK9 inhibitors aiming to achieve lower LDL with fewer side effects. So yes, lowering LDL helps, but particle count and ApoB in context still matter. What about lipoprotein a? I mentioned that in the beginning. It's sort of the wild card. So lipoprotein a, Lp(a), is another atherogenic particle, so promotes atherosclerosis. It's overwhelmingly genetically determined, and this means that diet, lifestyle, normal things that would lower other metrics of cholesterol and LDL only have a modest, if any, effect on Lp(a). So for most people, you can't significantly diet and exercise your lipoprotein a down. What we see from the data is that roughly 1 in 5 people have an elevated lipoprotein a, and it's linked to heart attacks, strokes, and even aortic valve disease, even if your LDL and ApoB are normal. And here's the kicker. Statins don't lower your Lp(a). In fact, in some people, they might raise your Lp(a) slightly. That's why there are new RNA-based drugs being developed. I'm gonna have to straight up read these. There's pelacarsen and olpasiran, and they're being developed specifically to target Lp(a) because nothing else we have really does at this time. So why does this matter? You could have a completely standard normal cholesterol panel but still carry elevated cardiovascular risk due to elevated ApoB or lipoprotein a. And the thing is that most, pretty much all, routine labs don't measure either of these. They're not a part of a standard lipid panel unless you or your doctor asks for them. So a lot of people will walk away from their routine checkup thinking they're in the clear when in reality they're not seeing the full picture. If you're an athlete, a high performer, or someone seriously thinking about your health span, this is a blind spot that you don't really want to miss. Here's the takeaway. So LDL-C, LDL cholesterol, is useful, but ApoB is more precise when it comes to risk. ApoB is telling you about all of the bad particles, not just LDL. And if you've never had an ApoB or an Lp(a) measurement taken, bring it up at your next appointment. ApoB is a modifiable target. Lp(a) is good to know at least once in your life to see how hard do you want to go at your ApoB. And if your LDL is normal, but you have a family history, you're fatigued, you're inflamed, poor recovery, it might be time to look deeper. So if you want help breaking this down or building a strategy that works with you in the context of your labs, not just around your labs and not just treating the labs, but treating you, the person, with the labs, that's what I'm here for. Go ahead and check out the links below. And let me know in the comments, do you know your ApoB? Has anyone checked your ApoB or your lipoprotein little a? Go ahead and let me know below. And again, do all the YouTube things. If you learned or liked or enjoyed any part of this video, even if you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the YouTube things. It's free for you. It helps me. I'm super appreciative. Until next time, I'm Dr. Mark.